So Estonian's very, very different than almost any other language that I'd ever heard. Um, I went into the MTC English German speaker. So I was bilingual, which I do feel helped a lot, but at times hindered because I would be thinking often and any filler words would automatically, I'm like, I don't know what that is in Estonian. So the German word would come into my mind. And I at times would realize I was speaking Estonian with German filler words. And yeah, that didn't work. But anyways, Estonian's very similar to Finnish, which to the point where if you're hearing to an untrained ear, Finnish and Estonian sound exactly the same. Accents are a little different. When I was in Estonia, people thought I was always speaking Finnish because my accent sounded like I was Finnish. But I feel like I got a good grasp on the language while I was there. I had the opportunity to work on the translation of the Doctrine and Covenants that came out 2 years ago. So that was a very awesome experience. The language is different because prefixes and suffixes are added to words in order to change the meaning of a word. So if you're going to say, I'm going to go with him, which he or she, tema, gets changed. The word will, the root word will change into a different form of the word where then you can add an ending onto the word. So temaga, so adding a ga onto the end of the root word literally will now mean with him, or with her, or with it, or him. Anyways, so it is very different. It's something that's hard to get used to because that's how they form their words. They'll mesh words together, like Eba Jumala Kumardamina. They'll just throw words together, which literally means idol worship, but the way they do it is they'll just mesh the words together, which literally turns into non-God worshiping and whatnot. So they'll just mesh words together, which is very, like, as you're starting to learn, it's harder because you don't necessarily hear it. But once you realize that the emphasis always comes on the first syllable of every word, you can start picking out where words end, because or like you can start picking out parts of words within words, because there can be different things. And a guy actually went through, I think it was in the 1840s, he wrote up the language trying to make it more beautiful. So he added a lot of vowel sounds, which became colloquial Estonian. There's still a couple of other dialects like Võru, which are still spoken in southern Estonia. But what happens is he tried to add more vowel sounds because he thought that was a more beautiful sounding language. So there's a lot of a, u. So there you got a lot of vowels in the language, which is a little different than English. And otherwise, language, this is the hardest part, because trying to tell someone how to learn a language is something that I think really varies from person to person. But just forgetting English, I think or maybe understanding English better to the point where completely understanding direct objects and things like that will really, really help you understand how Estonian works. And that was the hard part when I was in the MTC. They always used names for the cases, and I was lost because transillative case, and I'm just like, I don't even know what that means, and I don't think they do it so much now in the MTC as when I was there, which I think really was the hard part. Was they use these big long names for things, and if you can come up with a way to just clarify that in your mind, I think that will help. So, but language-wise, it's not going to be easy. Finnish is stated as being the hardest language to learn for an English language learner in the world, and Estonian is its sister language. So it's not going to be easy. There's not as many cases, which does make it nicer. And But yeah, it's going to be hard, just like the mission. So don't expect it to come immediately. But that is the thing. Estonians are not like the French. They will help you with every little bit ever. And if your Estonian could be literally the worst Estonian they've ever heard, they will literally turn to you and say, the Russians have been here for 60 years and still do not speak a lick of Estonian, but you speak beautiful Estonian, even though it's horrible. So you will have the most support from every single Estonian because you are trying to learn their language, which I think touches every one of their hearts. So don't get distraught because it's not going to be easy, but it is beautiful. And when you finally get it, and that day that it kind of clicks in your head and everything kind of comes together, it'll be awesome. So